16. Chinese H-20 stealth bombers penetrate Pacific airspace heading toward Guam. $18 billion strike package armed with hypersonic missiles. Total darkness. Zero radar contact. Then, 8 American F-22 Raptors emerge from nowhere. What happens in the next 11 minutes rewrites the rules of air combat. November 6, 2025. 1:47 a.m., 450 miles northeast of Guam. The Pacific is absolute darkness, no moon, heavy cloud cover, perfect conditions for stealth attack. Chinese H-20 bombers fly at 42,000 feet. Each aircraft costs $1.1 billion. The newest addition to China's strategic bomber fleet. Radar cross-section smaller than a sparrow. Armed with 6 YJ-21 hypersonic anti-ship missiles each. 96 missiles total. Enough to saturate Guam's defenses. Enough to destroy Andersen Air Force Base. Enough to cripple American Pacific power projection. The bombers maintain radio silence, fly in loose formation, spacing of 15 miles between aircraft. They're invisible to radar, silent on communications, confident in their approach. Andersen Air Force Base on Guam houses America's strategic assets in the Pacific. B-2 bombers, KC-135 tankers, fighter squadrons, $47 billion in equipment, 12,000 personnel. The bombers are the key. Take out Andersen's bombers, and America loses long-range strike capability. China gains air superiority. The balance of power shifts. The H-20 mission is simple. Launch hypersonic missiles from 300 miles out. Overwhelm Guam's defenses. Destroy American strategic bombers on the ground. Return to base. Mission success would be catastrophic for American interests. The planners in Beijing believe success is inevitable. H-20 bombers are undetectable. The mission profile is flawless. Weather conditions are optimal. At 1:47 a.m., U.S. Space Force's space-based infrared system detects subtle thermal anomalies, not traditional aircraft signatures. Something different. 16 distinct traces, moving toward Guam at 550 knots. SBIRS isn't designed for stealth aircraft detection. But the H-20 engines produce heat, tiny amounts, but measurable from space with the right sensors. The upgraded SBIRS Block 10 satellites deployed in 2025 can detect these signatures. The alert reaches Indo-Pacific Command at 1:49 a.m. 16 probable hostile stealth aircraft, bearing 287 degrees, range 450 miles, time to missile launch range 47 minutes. What's your weapon of choice against stealth bombers? Type A for F-22 Raptors. Type B for ground-based missiles. Drop your answer below. China had been planning Operation Dark Thunder for 8 months. The H-20 program reached operational capability in December 2025. 3 months of intensive training, dozens of simulated missions. The pilots are China's best, selected from thousands. Each has 2,000 plus flight hours. The mission profile was rehearsed 47 times, every contingency planned, every system tested. Chinese intelligence assessed that American detection capability against H-20 was minimal. The stealth characteristics were superior to B-2. The approach vector avoided known radar coverage. Weather conditions eliminated optical detection. The plan was perfect, on paper. But what they didn't know was that 8 F-22 Raptors had been orbiting 200 miles north of Guam for 6 hours. Not random patrol, deliberate ambush. U.S. intelligence had detected increased Chinese bomber activity for weeks, analyzed patterns, predicted attack window. The F-22s launched at 7:30 p.m. the previous evening, flew to predetermined coordinates, shut down all emissions, went silent, waited. Each Raptor carries 6 AIM-120D missiles and 2 AIM-9X Sidewinders, 8 aircraft, 48 long-range missiles, 16 short-range missiles, against 16 bombers. The mathematics favor the defenders. if they can find the targets. The F-22 pilots receive the alert at 1:51 a.m. S-Spires data streams directly to their cockpits. 16 bogies, probable stealth bombers, heading 095 degrees. The pilots activate their AN/APG-77 radars in low probability of intercept mode, advanced frequency hopping. The radar beams are nearly undetectable, but the F-22 radar is also designed to detect stealth aircraft. It looks for anomalies, disruptions in background electromagnetic radiation. At 1:54 a.m., the lead F-22 gets a return. Faint, intermittent, but definitely there. Range 180 miles. Altitude 42,000 feet. Speed 550 knots. Target confirmed. The F-22 pilots don't communicate by radio. Radio silence is absolute. Instead, they use Link 16 data link. Encrypted, directional, undetectable to Chinese systems. The lead aircraft designates targets, assigns intercept vectors. The 8 Raptors split into 4 pairs. Each pair targets 4 bombers. They accelerate to 600 knots, supercruise speed, no afterburners needed. The F-22 can maintain supersonic flight without afterburner. Silent, efficient, deadly. They close the distance. At 2:03 a.m., range drops to 80 miles. The Raptors climb to 50,000 feet. Above the bombers. Attack from altitude advantage. If you're enjoying this deep dive into modern warfare, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. The H-20 bombers have no idea they're being hunted. Their radar warning receivers are silent. No radar illumination detected. No missile lock warnings. No interceptor communications. They continue toward launch position. At 2:07 a.m., they're 320 miles from Guam. 13 minutes to missile launch range. The bomber lead makes final systems check. Weapons armed. Navigation confirmed. Formation intact. Everything is perfect. Until it isn't. At 2:08 a.m., the F-22s fire. Simultaneous launch. 32 AIM-120D missiles. Advanced medium-range air-to-air missiles. Each costs $1.8 million. Range of 100+ miles. Speed of Mach 4. Active radar homing. The missiles streak downward toward the Chinese bombers. The H-20 radar warning receivers scream. Multiple radar locks. Multiple inbound missiles. The pilots react with trained precision. Defensive maneuvers. Chaff deployment. Electronic countermeasures. But they're reacting to weapons already in flight. Already committed. Already closing at 3,000 miles per hour. The first missiles impact at 2:09 and 17 seconds. 8 H-20 bombers explode simultaneously. $8.8 billion in aircraft destroyed in 3 seconds. Fragmentation warheads shred the bomber's structures. Secondary explosions as fuel ignites. Weapons detonate. The sky erupts. 8 fireballs visible for 200 miles. The remaining 8 H-20s scatter, breaking formation, diving, turning, trying to evade. Their stealth characteristics become secondary to survival. They light up afterburners, run for their lives. The F-22s are already maneuvering for second shot. The remaining AIM-120Ds are assigned to new targets. Another 16 missiles launch at 2:09 and 45 seconds. The Chinese bombers deploy every countermeasure: towed decoys, electronic jamming, aggressive maneuvering. 3 missiles are decoyed. 2 lose lock. The remaining 11 missiles hit their targets. 6 more H-20s destroyed. $6.6 billion gone. 2 bombers survive the second wave. They dive hard. 42,000 feet to 15,000 feet in 90 seconds. Nearly vertical descent. The pilots endure crushing G-forces, but they survive. For now. Don't miss what comes next. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an analysis like this. At 2:11 a.m., the F-22s close for visual range combat. The 2 surviving H-20s are running, maximum speed. 650 knots, heading back toward Chinese airspace, 1,200 miles away. They won't make it. The F-22s accelerate. Supersonic pursuit. No afterburners needed. The Raptors close at 1.5 times the speed of sound. Silent predators. At 2:13 a.m., the lead F-22 achieves visual contact. The H-20 is massive. Flying wing design, similar to B-2 but larger. It's pushing through clouds, vapor trails streaming from wingtips. The F-22 pilot arms an AIM-9X Sidewinder. Infrared homing. Fire and forget. Lock tone sounds. He fires. The Sidewinder tracks the H-20's engine heat. The bomber's countermeasures are depleted. No flares remaining. The pilot tries to outmaneuver. Banking hard left. The Sidewinder follows. Adjusts. Closes. Detonates 5 feet from the left engine. The blast wave shreds the intake. Engine failure. Fuel fire. The H-20 rolls inverted. Enters uncontrolled descent. The pilot ejects at 8,000 feet. Parachutes into darkness. The bomber impacts the Pacific at 2:14 and 34 seconds. The 15th H-20 destroyed. The final bomber is 40 miles ahead, still running. A second F-22 pair pursues. They're within missile range, but choose guns. Preserve missiles for potential follow-on threats. The lead F-22 closes to 3,000 feet, activates the M61A2 20mm cannon, 480 rounds of ammunition. Rate of fire, 6,000 rounds per minute. The pilot aligns the reticle, tracks the bomber, fires a 3-second burst, 300 rounds downrange. The H-20's right wing shreds. Control surfaces fail. The bomber enters flat spin, unrecoverable. It spirals into the ocean at 2:16 a.m. All 16 Chinese H-20 bombers destroyed. 0 survivors. The entire engagement lasted 11 minutes and 13 seconds. From first missile launch to final bomber destroyed, 8 F-22 Raptors defeated 16 stealth bombers, fired 48 AIM-120 missiles, 43 hits, 89.5% success rate, 2 AIM-9X missiles, 2 hits, 100% success rate, 1 gun engagement, 1 kill. The F-22s expended no aircraft, took no damage, suffered 0 casualties. The mission was flawless. Textbook air superiority. The kind of engagement that doctrine is written about. The kind that ends wars before they start. Support the channel by giving this video a thumbs up if you found it valuable. The tactical analysis reveals multiple Chinese failures. First, overconfidence in stealth technology. The H-20 is stealthy, but not invisible. Thermal signatures betrayed them. Second, inadequate situational awareness. The bombers had no idea F-22s were in the area. No early warning. Third, poor defensive tactics. When missiles launched, the bombers should have scattered immediately. Instead, they maintained formation too long. Those seconds cost lives. Fourth, insufficient countermeasures. The H-20s carried limited chaff and flares, depleted them quickly, became vulnerable. The American success came from multiple factors. Superior intelligence. The SBIR's satellites detected thermal signatures. Chinese planners didn't think were detectable. Superior tactics. The F-22s were pre-positioned, waiting, silent. Superior technology. The APG-77 radar detected stealth bombers other systems couldn't see. Superior training. The pilots executed complex intercepts in total darkness. No communications, no mistakes. Superior weapons. The AIM-120D missiles performed exactly as designed. High kill probability, reliable performance. China's loss is catastrophic on multiple levels. 16 H-20 bombers destroyed. The program has only 24 operational aircraft. 2/3 of the fleet gone in 11 minutes. That's $17.6 billion in hardware. But the real cost is strategic. The H-20 was supposed to provide China with credible strike capability against American bases. Supposed to threaten Guam, threaten carriers. The program's survivability is now questioned. If 16 bombers can't penetrate defenses, how effective is the weapon? Chinese military credibility takes another hit. What would you have done when half your bomber force vanished in 3 seconds? Comment your answer below. The political ramifications extend globally. American allies see the engagement results. Confidence in U.S. air superiority increases. Japan accelerates F-35 purchases. Australia requests more advanced air defense systems. South Korea increases military spending. Taiwan feels more secure. The regional balance tips further toward American interests. China's neighbors see that Chinese military technology isn't invincible, that American systems maintain decisive advantages, that challenging U.S. air power is suicide. China's internal response is brutal. The H-20 program director is fired, arrested on corruption charges. 3 generals retire unexpectedly. The bomber crew's families receive condolence letters. State propaganda claims the mission was training exercise. That mechanical failures caused crashes. Nobody believes it. The truth leaks anyway. 16 bombers, all destroyed. By 8 American fighters. The embarrassment is overwhelming. Xi Jinping demands accountability. Someone must pay for the failure. Multiple heads roll. The engagement triggers doctrinal review across the PLA Air Force. Stealth-based strategies are questioned. If bombers aren't survivable, what's the alternative? China shifts focus to missile technology, ground-launched weapons, submarine-launched weapons, hypersonic glide vehicles, anything that doesn't require penetrating American air defenses. The H-20 program continues, but expectations are reduced. It's no longer the silver bullet. Just another tool, limited utility, high risk. This kind of detailed tactical breakdown takes hours to research. Subscribe to help us keep making them. American air doctrine is validated. The F-22 remains unmatched. Despite being designed in the 1990s, it dominates 2026 battlespace. The combination of stealth, speed, sensors, and weapons creates overwhelming advantage. China has J-20 fighters. Russia has Su-57s. Neither compares to F-22 capability. The engagement proves it. 16-0. The loss ratio speaks for itself. Congress approves F-22 modernization funding, enhanced sensors, updated weapons, extended service life. The Raptor flies for another 20 years, minimum. The 8 pilots become instant legends. Their names remain classified, operational security. But within the Air Force community, they're heroes. The crews that executed perfect intercept, that destroyed 16 stealth bombers without loss, that defended Guam from catastrophic attack. They receive classified commendations, medals they can't publicly display, recognition they can't publicly acknowledge. But they know. Their squadrons know. The Air Force knows. That's enough. Guam continues operations without disruption. The B-2 bombers that were targeted remain fully operational. The base functions normally. But everyone understands how close the attack came. 47 minutes from missile launch. If the F-22s hadn't intercepted, if the SBIR's satellites hadn't detected thermal signatures, if intelligence hadn't predicted the attack, the outcome would be very different. Destroyed bombers, damaged runways, hundreds of casualties, American power projection crippled, the narrow margin between victory and disaster. If you made it this far, you're the core of our community. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Looking back, the Sky on Fire engagement demonstrates core principles of air warfare. Whoever sees first wins. The F-22s detected the H-20s before being detected themselves. That advantage was decisive. Whoever shoots first wins. The Raptors fired 48 missiles before the bombers could react. That initiative was overwhelming. Whoever maintains superior situational awareness wins. The Americans knew everything. The Chinese knew nothing. That information asymmetry was fatal. The broader lesson applies to all military conflict. Technology matters, but employment matters more. China had advanced bombers, stealth characteristics, good weapons, but poor employment. No early warning, no fighter escort, no contingency planning. America had superior fighters, better sensors, pre-positioned assets, perfect execution. The result was foreordained, not by technology alone, by strategy, by tactics, by training, by the willingness to prepare for battles that might never occur. The F-22s orbited for 6 hours in darkness, waiting for enemies that might not come. They came. The Americans were ready. Was this engagement a triumph of technology or a triumph of tactics? Leave your thoughts in the comments. The message to potential adversaries is unambiguous. Don't challenge American air superiority. Don't assume stealth provides immunity. Don't believe propaganda over performance. The H-20 was marketed as B-2 equivalent. It wasn't. The Chinese pilots were trained and brave. They died anyway. The mission was carefully planned. It failed catastrophically. Because American air power isn't just about aircraft. It's about systems, satellites, data links, weapons, training, doctrine, all integrated seamlessly, all executed perfectly. That integration is impossible to replicate, impossible to overcome. Your engagement directly shapes what we cover next. Drop a comment and subscribe. So remember March 19th, 2026. Remember the night the sky burned. Remember 16 Chinese stealth bombers vanishing in 11 minutes. Remember 8 F-22 Raptors proving that air superiority isn't claimed, it's taken. By force, by skill, by superior capability. The engagement that saved Guam. That validated American doctrine. That demonstrated decisively why the United States maintains air dominance, not through aggression, through preparation, not through luck, through excellence. The sky on fire wasn't just battle. It was statement. To allies, we've got your back. To adversaries, don't even try. That's deterrence. That's air power. That's American military supremacy written in flames across the Pacific night sky.